Good evening, everybody. I know it's a late live. Let me just make sure that it's running okay. Loretta, I'm glad that you're back home. Hopefully you guys can hear me. There is a little bit of a delay. There we go. There's a little bit of a delay, it looks like, from StreamYard. I heard StreamYard's been acting up, and now I am seeing it for myself. So hopefully it will show me all of your guys' comments. But Loretta, I'm glad that you're home. I am sorry that you had to put your sister in hospice. I know that you've been preparing for this for a little while. If you need anything, please let me know. Just shoot me an email. I'm not expecting a whole lot of people on tonight, and I have a little bit of a headache, so bear with me. I'm going to try to get through this, and it'll just be a real quick one. Can you guys hear me okay? This chat is so delayed. I know you can see me, I just don't know if you can hear me. Hopefully. All right, well, I'm just going to go ahead and start. Hi, PBC. I'm going to go ahead and start. I want to tell you guys, thank you, Loretta. I wanted to get on here and tell you guys that this is not the time to be complacent. There's a lot going on in the world. I can't even keep up with the news anymore. I'm lucky to catch an article here or there, and we share notes. Some of us creators share notes with each other to kind of keep up to date on what's going on. And it's funny that all of our eyes shifted from Russia and Ukraine to Israel and Palestine. It's almost kind of like, don't look here over here anymore, look over here. And I'm starting to see people get tired of hearing about the wars overseas and not caring anymore. And I know that a lot of you either have picked your sides or you don't want to pick sides and you just don't care. But the thing is, if you don't care anymore, you become complacent. You start believing that this is happening overseas and it's never going to happen on our soil. And I've actually heard that from some people in other chats that, it would never happen on U.S. soil. We would never have, they would never attack us on our grounds. Just all kinds of different things of they'll never be here. The thing is, you guys, I've talked about this before. They are already here. There are cells already here. I have talked about this in great lengths. I have talked about this as far as them coming over the borders, as far as them being here homegrown. Just they're here. They're here in different areas of the United States, whether you like it or not. They're just waiting for that phone call. And when you start not caring about what's going on overseas and you start focusing your attention more on our administration instead of what you should be doing, you become complacent. It's like you only care about what you're doing that day. You don't think anything's going to happen. It could never happen to you. It could never happen to the United States. That's complacency, and that is very, very dangerous. Hi, Wolfgang. Hey, Stray Kitten. Hey, Drops Family Garden. So now is not the time, you guys, to be complacent. Now is not the time to get tired of hearing what's going on in the news. I'm not saying overwhelm yourself with the news, but know what your enemy is doing. Know where they are. We've had numerous attacks because of this war in Israel, or not attacks, threats, because this war in Israel against the U.S. because of us stepping in. And Israel is our ally, so we would kind of expect the U.S. to step in. But because of this, we've had numerous different countries sending threats our way that if we don't stop or we don't make Israel stop, then they're coming to us and nothing is off the table for what they're going to do. I've also told you guys for a long time now that especially this war in Israel, whether you believe it or not, this is a religious war. And they are all about their beliefs. And those of you that are Christians, you probably already know that there's nothing that they wouldn't do against people who don't have their same beliefs or won't bow down to their beliefs. And you need to be very aware of this. This is very, very important. This is very much a religious war. And I did share the on my community tab. I don't know if you guys were able to watch it or not, but I did share when the leader of Hezbollah addressed the country, and numerous times he said in his address that, you know, this is our religion, this is what we do, and he had mentioned numerous times that the people that went out and fought for their beliefs and killed because of their beliefs are now martyrs, and specifically said that because they went out and killed these people that weren't of their beliefs, that the people that did the killing are and were killed themselves are now, based on their beliefs, in paradise with God. Those are the words that he used, that they are in paradise with God because they went out and did these slaughters. That is their beliefs. And when that comes to our grounds, or when the switch is flipped and they start coming after us, it's not going to matter to them whether you are a Christian or not. The only thing that is going to matter to them is if you are going to bow down to their beliefs and their religion. As Christians, we are not going to. But those of you that are not Christians, are you going to be willing to bow down to their beliefs? I don't think you will, since you're not willing to accept a Christian's beliefs. But either way, whether you're a Christian or not, if you're not in their beliefs, they're going to go after you. They are going to terminate you because they believe that if they do, they are doing the right thing per their religious beliefs, per their God, and they believe that they are going to get rewarded in heaven for doing this. So you really have to be aware of where you are, what is going on, who is around you. You will never know what these people look like. They extremists or people of that belief, they can look like anybody. They could be your next door neighbor. They could have been your next door neighbors for a couple years now. You don't even know it. Hi, Western Fugitive. So you need to realize, you guys, I know that some of you click off as soon as I start speaking about God, or start speaking about Christianity, or start speaking about the Bible. I know a lot of you click off right away, but you really need to understand that if these people with these beliefs come to our grounds, they are not going to care if you are Christian or not. They want you to bow down to their God, their beliefs, follow their laws, basically. And if you don't, they're going to torture and kill you. They don't care what religion you are, or if you're not a religion at all. If you are not a part of their beliefs, they're going to kill you. So it is going to come to our grounds. They are already here. They have already, some of the countries have already said, we have people there. We're just waiting for you to make this war in Israel stop. We're just waiting for you to stop funding. We're just waiting for you to make them cease fire. They've already said they're not going to do a ceasefire. Flat out, they are not. Their plan is to annihilate Gaza no matter what. And that means that if they don't stop, and I'm not pro-Palestine, I'm not pro-Israel, I am pro the innocent people caught in the middle, you guys. I'm not picking sides on this. I'm just looking at the whole picture of it. And if the war doesn't stop, if the killings and the massacres and the shootings do not stop, they have already said that nothing is off the table. They will be here in the U.S., and they are already saying, calling for jihad days, jihad rages to be on the United States soil. And that is where I say don't be complacent. If they're already here, you have got to be smart about it. If you carry, you need to carry all the time. You need to be aware of people's behaviors around you. If you have to start taking, watching YouTube videos to start learning people's behaviors, then by all means do that. Know what people are up to before they do it. Know if you need to leave an area before something happens, or if you need to turn something in that looks suspicious. It's better to be safe than sorry. So even if it ends up being nothing, if you call law enforcement or you call a security guard or whatever, and you turn something in that you think is strange, it's better safe than sorry. I would rather have a police officer go and check it out and find out it's nothing than come back and you didn't do anything and it ended up being somebody going on a rampage and just slaughtering people in Walmart or whatever. My concern is whenever cells are activated, their whole purpose is disruption. Okay, that is the primary purpose, is disruption. And it may be disruption of the traveling public. It may be disruption of the banking system per cyber attacks. It may be disruption per something horrific happening at a large family area, or like a theme park or something, to where it instills fear. Disruption can come in all sorts of forms. It can happen on our military bases. You have seen in the past where basically single officers have basically lost their mind. And this actually happened a few years ago. This was a long time ago. And my friend was actually in a base in Texas. And they had people on their base that they were training that were from overseas, and they were supposed to be training them military arms and military combat, because they were supposed to fight side by side with them. And what ended up happening is, after they had trained one of these individuals, they were actually an insider threat that they did not realize. They had a clean background. They had no record at all, guys. And they ended up taking one of these firearms that they were trained on and killing numerous soldiers once they got trained. That is an insider threat. That is that can be considered one of those rogue people sleeper cells. And I know people think of cells as numerous people, but it can be an individual person that has orders to gain trust, to get intel, to infiltrate certain places, and then once they're in there, they cause the damage. And even if that was to happen in a military base, I mean, the base got locked down, of course, but even a short lockdown on areas, even if it's public areas, it causes a disruption, a ripple effect of a disruption across the United States. So let's say that they, God forbid this ever happens, but let's say something happens at Disney World. It's going to cause a ripple effect with not only, phone lines, of course, crashing, just like it did in Columbine years ago. You couldn't get a phone call out, or 9/11, you couldn't get a phone call out. It's going to cause ripple effects with traffic. And then people that are locked in, a traffic jam, you don't know if there's going to be another rogue person there where there's a whole lot of traffic stopped to cause another disruption. The key is, if you are somewhere, and I'm missing all kinds of comments, you guys, I always do, but I'll go back. I don't want to lose my train of thought. Which I just did. Oh, okay. So the thing is, one second. Yes. I don't know what it is. Unless it's my fan on my laptop, it might be getting hot. The thing is, if something like that happens, guys, if you're in a public area or you're in a large gathering, and I want to apologize, I don't know what sound you guys are hearing, unless it's the fan on my laptop. I don't hear anything, so I don't know what it sounds like either. But if you're in a large gathering, here's something I want to tell you guys. Here is a word of advice. Well, first of all, try to avoid large gatherings if at all possible, you guys. Don't go to large gatherings, and in my opinion, don't go to religious large gatherings. And if you do, make sure you know your exits. And if something is to happen, this is my word of advice. If something is to happen, most people run the same direction from whatever is happening. They either run to it to see, to pull their phones out and get video, which is stupid, you guys. Please don't do that. Or they all run the same direction away from it. My word of advice is do not follow the crowd, because chances are if you are in a large area and something happens here and everyone runs this way and they're planning on doing some sort of mass destruction or disruption, they're going to do something here where everyone runs to. That is how in the past these horrible people have taken out law enforcement or better? Sorry guys, hold on. He's trying to help. Is that better? Testing, 1, 2, 3, testing. Yes, no? I don't know why it's doing that. Anyways, that's how they would take out law enforcement or first responders, is they would do something to draw all of the law enforcement and first responders to whatever the first event was, and then they would set off a second event to take all of them out. You don't want to be in that second set of whatever they do to take them out. So make sure that if you are somewhere where there's a big event and something happens, please don't follow the crowd. Find another alternate way out. And as soon as you get there, you should know your different paths of getting out in general. We've talked about this in the past with restaurants. Now I'm telling you, do this when you go to any large events, any large gatherings. I know that there's a lot of festivals coming. There's a lot of Thanksgiving, the Macy's Day Parade. Those types of things, you have got to be vigilant. If you have a local parade, be vigilant. And I'm not just talking about people leaving suitcases or bags or whatever unattended. I'm talking about, we've had cars in the past run through crowds. So make sure that you don't put yourself in the center where you can't get out into a gridlock with people standing around you. Make sure that if you are going somewhere, don't have your face planted in your phone. You can have a conversation and still constantly look at what's going on around you. If people seem suspicious or you get that weird feeling, then chances are good that your feeling is right. You're seeing something without realizing it, that something is wrong. I'm playing with a microphone. Hold on. Is that any better? I might be talking on a topic that this particular platform does not like. Any better, guys? If not, I'm going to unplug it from this other thing and try to plug it straight in. Anybody? Testing, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, Johnny, that's exactly what they did at the Boston Marathon. That's exactly what they did. They set one off, and the direction that everybody ran, they set another one off. Is it better? I took off my little filter. It's still there? Okay. Thank you, Check Kitten. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Let's see. Why can't I unplug it? Hold on, you guys. I can't take that out. That's the camera. Well, I could, but let's try to unplug this. Is that better? It's plugged straight into my laptop now. Good? Okay. All right. Okay, perfect. All right. So anyways, what I'm telling you is don't be complacent. Just because things are happening over in Israel or happening in um, Ukraine or whatever, and honestly, you guys, I kind of think that um, as soon as people get bored with the stuff in Israel, I think that's when Taiwan's going to pop off because they're constantly wanting you to be distracted by overseas and complacent in where you live. So make sure that you're paying attention. You don't go to large gatherings if you don't have to. I'm not starting over. Um, make sure that your get home bags, guys, are appropriately packed because if something does happen in a large event, you may not be able to. Sorry, stray kitten. You might not be able to get to your vehicles if something does happen. So make sure that you have stuff on you that if you have to walk, you can walk. Um, the other thing I had a thought of, you guys, and I'm probably going to take this live down as soon as it's over, you guys, and I'm going to chop it up into two different videos because I did have a thought. Um, as far as these sleeper cells, I know that um, we've already talked about these people being led into the country possibly on purpose to be a part of those cells. I know that some of you have been in on that chat. Um, I had a thought tonight and I brought this up with my husband, but all of us are upset and complaining because these people coming overseas are getting paid a good bit of money, getting housing, getting benefits, they're getting IDs, they're soon being allowed to vote, they are being allowed to become police officers. You guys all know this, right? What if this is a big what if, you guys. This is not fact. I have not found this anywhere. This is me thinking outside of the box. But what if those monthly payments that they're getting and those housing areas that they're getting and these IDs and these jobs that they're getting, what if they are on a payroll? What if that is a type of payroll for them to be on call? And when they get that call is when things within the United States pop off. Their housing is given to them in the exact same cities that the FBI is now saying are cells waiting to be activated. Have you guys noticed this? The people becoming overseas are being sent to the exact same cities that the FBI is warning of cells waiting to be activated. Okay. They are in New York, they are in Texas, they are in California, they are in Boston. These are all the cities that the FBI has just come out and said, please be vigilant. There are sleeper cells here, and there are a lot of them. But it seems to me that now that there's a lot of cells there, that I'm pretty sure that that's where a lot of the people coming overseas are being sent, and they're being paid a monthly income. So could they not be paid operatives on call, waiting to get that one call? And if they're being sent to all the major cities, Denver is another one of them I just heard. If they're being sent to all of these major cities to just sit tight, hang low, get these jobs that are in main positions like the police department or the fire department or EMTs or construction, which even construction can be very, very serious, guys. If you look back at 9/11, to have someone like that in construction can be very scary. So maybe they're on a payroll. Maybe those that monetary that they're getting is not just to help them get on their feet, but maybe they're on a payroll. Possibility. It's just a thought I had. And if they get that call, they could do a lot of damage. And I believe it's not going to be just one thing. And I'd heard someone else say this too, and it actually made me kind of excited that they were thinking on the same wavelength. But I don't think it's going to be one thing here or one thing there. I think kind of how 9/11 was, where it was five different destinations of things popping off. I think that that's how this is going to be with the people that are in our cities now. It's going to be popping off in different cities, one right after the other. And it's going to stop all air transportation, train transportation, um, boats. It's going to put everything at a ground stop or a land halt. It's going to probably happen at some um, major airports like JFK, Denver, probably Miami, Fort Lauderdale, right around there. Your primary airports, which is going to not only disrupt transportation, but it's also going to instill massive fear. It's again going to cause, if you have multiple things going off, it's going to cause a major um, lock on phones where people can't get their calls out, and it's going to make the entire United States kind of freak out. Let me go back to some of these comments. Did I miss any important comments, guys? I don't want to go all the way back and have you guys sit here and watch me squint at the board. But do you all, if you had a comment that you thought was important, please put it in there. What I am going to tell you guys, with the possibility of um, these things happening, okay, and I'm talking about the sleeper cells, and I'm talking about, staying vigilant. Don't be complacent in what you do. This weekend, for some reason, I had this urgent feeling of certain things that I needed to get done. Okay. For me, those things were, my husband and I went to the range. And usually I'm like, I've got other things that I need to do, but I felt it important that we go. So we went and we spent some time on the range. The other thing I felt important was to purge some things in my house. Okay. And I'm talking about things that I either don't want or don't need. I'm starting to clean things out of my house for whatever reason. Like I need these things out of my house. Okay. The other thing that I have started doing is, most of you know, I am a big prayer warrior. I make sure that I say my prayers every night throughout the day. I pray about different things. And in the morning, first thing, I say a prayer. But I have recently gotten a hold of a book that I have been all in on, and it is basically strategic, um, tactical prayers. Okay. Now, my prayers are usually zeroed in on certain people, but this is even more in depth, even more um, targeted, I guess you could say. And for me, you guys, one of my urgencies is I already have my prayer closet, but I am now putting together my war room. Okay. And I call it that because I just watched this movie called The War Room, which was amazing. And I am building myself a war room. And my war room is going to have my targeted, specific, powerful prayers, powerful scriptures, and I'm going to start hitting these things every single day, because I truly believe that this is a religious war, and that they are coming to our grounds, and I'm going to do everything starting now to fight against it. You can either be with me or not. That's fine, but I'm going to do my part. I feel a huge urgency to really start focusing more on, targeted prayers, strategic prayers, tactical prayers, and getting closer with God. Even though I am already close with Him, I feel like I need to step up my game, um, to help fight against whatever is coming. So, that all being said, you guys, right now, you guys need to get your stuff in order. Don't think just because it's not here on US soil that it's not coming soon. If you are religious or not religious, you need to be aware that these people coming are not going to care what religion you are. You just will have to bow down to their beliefs. So you need to be aware of that. You need to um, figure out which hill you're going to fight on, um, and who you want in your corner, because some of these laws that the other side have are terrible laws, terrible, terrible laws that they really hurt people, and you don't want to be on that side, guys. Um, who am I? Hold on. Red Scout, who are you yelling at? Yes, drops. The four horsemen. Sorry, guys, I'm catching up on just a couple of these messages. Yeah, drop. I think three is actually already started. I've thought that for a while with cyber. Hi, Scorpion Tiger. All right, Red Scout, I don't know who you're yelling at. Just behave yourself, please. All right, you guys, I wasn't going to stay on here that long because, as I said, I had a headache. I've been fighting it all day, but do you guys have any questions or concerns or comments or anything that you want me to address? I am, after I log off here, I am going to be doing another one, possibly two quick videos. I'm going to upload on the member side. Those of you that are members already know what the members videos are all about. Those are not public. Those are going to stay private. So if you are a member, be sure to continue. Stay tuned because I will be uploading at least another one of those tonight. I don't know. Hold on one second, guys. Thank you, Johnny. I'm sorry. I'm trying to the chat's delayed from StreamYard to YouTube, so I'm trying to see what's going on in my chat. All right. So, anyways, you guys, any questions? Oh, no, no, no. We're not. Red Scout, you're not going to come in here and start being rude to people. I've let you come in here and speak your mind quite often, and I've not said anything, but to come in here and personally attack people, that is not okay. I'm not going to tolerate that. That's not going to happen. You can disagree, you can agree to disagree, but we are not going to come in here and personally attack people. I'm not okay with that. Yeah, winning streak. I'm sure you do. I think we're on the same page. Red Scout, I'm sure you're still in here watching. If once your timeout is done, you're more than welcome to still be in here, but you are not going to attack people. You are not going to disrespect people. That is not okay. I don't tolerate that. I'd let you come in here and speak your mind for a long time, but that's not okay. I don't agree with that. I don't disrespect anyone in here. We're all adults. Yes, Devil Dog, I know. And usually I'm okay with it. He knows where my boundaries are with being respectful, but um that was just not okay when you um start being mean to people. I don't like that. All right, you guys. I don't really have anything else to say. I don't see any questions. I have um taken care of um the issue temporarily in the chat. I'm going to try to catch up on the news and do my video after this real quick. And my schedule is changing, you guys. Also, I want you guys to know this. Come middle of November, my schedule is changing. So I will not be able to do videos anymore on the weekends. Oh, I need to change that night bot. Um, I won't be able to do videos on the weekends anymore. My days are changing to the middle of the week. So my live streams will be in the middle of the week instead, um, which kind of stinks because I enjoy doing Saturdays. But, um, things happen. I have to work to pay bills. Um, Also, I am probably I would say at the end of this month, I will have a better idea of when our spring meetup will be. I know it's going to be here in South Carolina. I just don't have dates yet. And I know that that is better for some of you to be here in South Carolina instead of all the way up in Virginia. So I am looking forward to the spring meetup. It's more of my home turf. So I am excited about that. Um, it'll also allow me to add some additional concepts into this meetup. Even though we had an amazing time at the last meetup, this one would be just a little bit different because it's a different type of atmosphere. Yes, drops it. That's exactly right. Um, don't get so distracted by everything. Do what you need to do, whatever it is for you. Do it. If it's nagging at you, do it. For me, it was, getting some practice in, purging some things, and starting to work on my war room for a strategic approach. Um, it may be something different for you. Whatever it is, do it. Get on it, do it. I feel like we are running out of time to not be able to do some of these things that we need to do. Um, Other than that, I don't have anything to say, you guys. So I'm going to tell you all to have an amazing night. Um, as always, you guys, be kind, love each other, help each other, do the things you need to do. Pay attention to your surroundings and the behaviors of the people around you. Tie loose ends. And of course, as always, know God's in charge. Okay? He watches over us. Have a good night, you guys. Much love.